South China Sea, a flashpoint. For years, we've heard about the rising tensions, the territorial disputes, the constant pressure China exerts on its smaller neighbors. But what if I told you that the future of war isn't about battleships or fighter jets anymore? What if the next big conflict will be fought in the skies by tiny, silent killers? And what if the battleground for this new era of warfare is being set right now in the Philippines with a brand new weapon system the US Army is secretly testing? If you're interested in this topic, hit the like button, subscribe, and type interested in the comments, and I will give you a heart. This isn't science fiction, folks. This is happening. Right now, the US Army and Marine Corps are rolling out cutting-edge anti-drone technology. Systems like the Mobile Low, Slow, Small Unmanned Aircraft Integrated Defeat System, or MALIDS for the Army, and the Marine Air Defense Integrated System, MADIS, for the Marines. These aren't just fancy names. They represent a fundamental shift in how America is preparing for the wars of tomorrow. And the Philippines? It's not just an ally, it's becoming the proving ground, the crucible, where the future of combat is being forged. We're talking about a 30 mm anti-drone weapon system designed to take down threats you can barely see. This is the new reality. For decades, military strategists obsessed over aircraft carriers, stealth bombers, and advanced missile systems. But the wars in Ukraine, the Middle East, and even the skirmishes in the South China Sea have painted a starkly different picture. The biggest threat isn't always the biggest weapon. It's often the cheapest, most numerous, and hardest to detect. Drones. We're not talking about your hobbyist quadcopter. We're talking about sophisticated military-grade unmanned aerial vehicles, or UAVs, that can conduct surveillance, drop explosives, or even swarm targets with devastating effect. They are the new artillery, the new scouts, and increasingly the new precision strike platforms. What makes these drones such a game changer? Their cost effectiveness, for starters. A single advanced fighter jet can cost tens of millions, even hundreds of millions of dollars. A military-grade drone, on the other hand, can be manufactured for a fraction of that, sometimes just thousands of dollars. This asymmetric advantage means that an adversary can deploy a massive fleet of drones, overwhelming traditional air defenses that are simply too expensive to counter every single threat. This creates a terrifying new problem for military planners. How do you defend against 1,000 buzzing threats when each of your interceptors costs a fortune? And here's the kicker. These drones are small, often slow, and fly at low altitudes, making them incredibly difficult for conventional radar systems to detect. Picture a swarm of angry bees, but each bee carries a tiny bomb. That's the challenge. Traditional air defense systems are designed for high-flying, fast-moving targets. Drones exploit these vulnerabilities, slipping under radar coverage and making precise strikes before defenders even know they're there. This silent, buzzing threat can wreak havoc on logistics, infrastructure, and even morale. Before we dive deeper into these incredible weapon systems and their deployment, if you're finding this deep dive into future warfare as fascinating as I am, please do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button. We're constantly exploring the hidden corners of geopolitics and military tech, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. The rise of drone warfare has reshaped not only tactics, but also the very definition of a fair fight. It allows smaller, less technologically advanced forces to punch well above their weight. It democratizes the battlefield in a terrifying way. Suddenly, the most sophisticated tanks and warships, the crown jewels of modern militaries, become vulnerable to cheap, mass-produced drones controlled by operators thousands of miles away. This isn't a theoretical problem. It's a very real one that's forcing military powers worldwide to rethink everything. And this brings us squarely to the US Army and their new approach. They realized that an entirely new class of weapons was needed. It couldn't be another multi-million-dollar missile system. It had to be agile, cost-effective, and absolutely lethal against these smaller, smarter threats. Enter the 30M anti-drone weapon system. Why 30M? Because it's the sweet spot. It's powerful enough to obliterate a drone, but significantly cheaper and more efficient than a missile. It's like using a sledgehammer for a nail, but in this case, the nail is a persistent, buzzing threat that needs to be taken out quickly and decisively. These systems aren't just about the cannon though. They're marvels of modern engineering. They integrate advanced sensors, think thermal cameras, electro-optical sensors, and specialized radar that can detect these tiny aerial threats from miles away, even in adverse weather conditions. Once detected, electronic warfare capabilities can jam the drone's controls, forcing it down or sending it off course. And if that doesn't work, that 30M cannon comes into play, firing precision rounds that can tear a drone out of the sky. This layered defense is what makes them so effective. The development of MLIDs and MATIS underscores a critical shift. Instead of just focusing on preventing drones from reaching the battlefield, the military is now prioritizing the ability to actively defeat them once they are in the air. This active defense strategy is crucial for protecting ground troops, naval assets, and critical infrastructure from an ever-evolving airborne menace. It's about not just reacting, but dominating the skies against this new class of threats. We've just scratched the surface of how these systems work, but what does this mean for the real world, for the escalating tensions between the US, the Philippines, and China? We're about to dive into the geopolitical implications, and trust me, it's far more intricate than you might imagine. You know, if you're enjoying this deep dive into the cutting edge of military tech and strategy, do me a solid and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps more folks discover this content. The strategic importance of the Philippines in this evolving landscape cannot be overstated. With its proximity to the disputed waters of the South China Sea, it stands on the front lines of this new era of warfare. The deployment of these anti-drone weapon systems to the Philippines is a clear signal, not just to allies, but to potential adversaries. It's a statement that the US is committed to maintaining stability in the region, and it's doing so with the most advanced tools available. This isn't just about protecting the Philippines. It's about safeguarding global trade routes and upholding international law. We're just beginning to understand the full scope of how this technology will reshape global power dynamics. When we return, we'll explore the precise reasons why the Philippines has become such a crucial testing ground and what China's reaction has been to this new silent threat. Welcome back, folks. In our first segment, we peeled back the layers of the new drone threat and the US Army's innovative 30M anti-drone weapon system designed to counter it. Now, we're going to connect the dots and explore precisely why the Philippines has become such a critical proving ground for these cutting-edge weapons and what it all means as tensions with China escalate in the South China Sea. The decision to deploy and test these advanced systems in the Philippines is no accident. It's a direct, calculated response to China's increasingly aggressive behavior in the region. For years, China has been engaging in what military strategists call gray zone tactics. This isn't full-scale warfare, but it's far from peacetime. It involves a constant campaign of harassment, intimidation, and territorial encroachment that stays just below the threshold of open conflict, making it incredibly difficult for traditional military responses. Imagine this: Chinese Coast Guard vessels constantly shadowing and even ramming Philippine supply boats, fishing fleets, sometimes state-sponsored militias, swarming disputed areas, effectively denying access to Filipino fishermen. And yes, increasingly, the use of drones. These aren't necessarily armed drones, at least not yet, but they are crucial for surveillance, reconnaissance, and psychological intimidation. They monitor Philippine movements, gather intelligence, and project a constant presence, testing the resolve of their adversaries without firing a single shot. This is where the new anti-drone weapon system becomes absolutely vital. The Philippines, with its sprawling archipelago and vast maritime borders, is on the front lines of these gray zone confrontations. Its own defense forces, while brave and dedicated, are significantly outmatched by China's massive military and Coast Guard. This power imbalance makes the Philippines particularly vulnerable to drone threats, which can gather intelligence on their positions, disrupt communications, and create a constant sense of unease. That's why the US deployment isn't just about showing solidarity, it's about providing concrete, game-changing capabilities. By deploying systems like MLIDs and MATIS to the Philippines, the US is achieving multiple strategic objectives. First, it's enhancing the Philippines' immediate defense capabilities. Imagine a MATIS system on a key Philippine island, overlooking a disputed reef. Its sensors can detect incoming drones long before they become a threat, and its 30mm cannon can neutralize them with pinpoint accuracy. This doesn't just protect military assets, it protects the crucial supply lines and fishing vessels that China frequently targets. Second, it's a powerful act of deterrent. When China knows that any drone it sends into disputed airspace might be immediately shot down, it changes their calculus. It raises the cost of their gray zone tactics and forces them to reconsider their aggressive posture. This isn't about provoking a fight, it's about creating a credible defense that makes aggression too risky. It's a strategic move to restore a sense of balance in a highly volatile region. Before we continue exploring the intricate dance between these nations, if you're finding this deep dive into modern geopolitics as enlightening as I hope, please consider hitting that subscribe button. We're building a community of informed viewers, and your support means the world. The US Marines have already conducted live fire exercises in the Philippines with the MATIS system, and the images are striking. We're talking about actual tests where these systems successfully engaged mock air attacks, demonstrating their ability to protect key coastlines and naval assets. This isn't theoretical, this is real-world validation of a new military capability in a theater where it's desperately needed. It shows that these aren't just prototypes, they're ready for prime time. What makes these tests in the Philippines particularly significant is the environmental context. The South China Sea is a complex operating environment. It's vast, with thousands of islands, reefs, and shifting weather patterns. Testing these systems here provides invaluable data on their performance in real-world conditions, far different from a controlled testing range back home. This feedback loop is crucial for refining the technology and ensuring it can perform when it really counts. And how is China reacting to this? Well, predictably, with condemnation. Beijing views any increased US military presence and advanced weaponry in the region as a provocative act, an attempt to encircle and contain China. State-run media frequently decries these deployments as a violation of regional peace and stability. But actions speak louder than words. China's continued gray zone tactics, its militarization of artificial islands, and its ongoing harassment of Philippine vessels are precisely why these defensive systems are being deployed in the first place. It's a classic security dilemma. China's aggressive actions lead to the US bolstering its allies' defenses, which China then interprets as a threat, potentially leading to further escalation. But from the perspective of the Philippines and its allies, this is about restoring deterrence and upholding international law. It's about drawing a line in the sand, or in this case, a line in the water, and saying enough is enough. You know, if you're as gripped by this story as I am, and you're thinking about the implications for global power, please give this video a thumbs up. It's a small click that makes a huge difference. The deployment of these 30K anti-drone weapon systems represents more than just new military hardware. It symbolizes a renewed commitment by the US to its allies in the Indo-Pacific. It's a signal that America isn't backing down and is willing to invest in cutting-edge solutions to counter evolving threats. For the Philippines, this means increased confidence in its ability to defend its sovereign territory and protect its people's livelihoods. For China, it means a new obstacle in its ambition to dominate the South China Sea. We've just explored the immediate implications of these deployments, but the story doesn't end here. In our final segment, we're going to look at the broader implications for future warfare, the strategic balance in the Indo-Pacific, and what this means for you no matter where you live. This isn't just about hardware, it's about the shifting tides of global power and the principles that will define the 21st century. Stick around, because the most profound lessons from this unfolding drama are yet to come. All right, for the grand finale, we've journeyed through the rise of drone warfare and seen how the US Army is deploying its new 30mm anti-drone weapon system to the Philippines as tensions with China escalate. Now let's zoom out and consider the monumental global impact of these developments. This isn't just a regional squabble, it's a blueprint for the future of war, a high-stakes chess match that will redefine deterrence and international relations for decades to come. The strategic implications of these anti-drone systems extending into the Indo-Pacific are absolutely massive. For years, China's military expansion has been viewed through the lens of conventional power, aircraft carriers, submarines, advanced fighter jets. But the deployment of MLIDs and MATIS introduces a critical new layer to the defense strategy. It acknowledges that the next major conflict won't just be about who has the biggest ships or planes. It will be about who can dominate the low-altitude airspace against swarming, inexpensive threats. This capability reshapes the entire strategic balance. Think about it. If China can't reliably use its vast fleet of drones for reconnaissance, targeting, or harassment in the South China Sea, it severely hampers their gray zone tactics. It forces them to operate with less information, at higher risk, and with greater cost. This is the essence of deterrence in the modern age, making the cost of aggression outweigh any potential benefits. The US, by arming its allies like the Philippines with these systems, isn't just providing defense, it's creating a complex web of deterrence that makes any aggressive move exponentially riskier for China. This also sends a powerful message to other nations across the globe. Countries that might feel intimidated by larger, more aggressive neighbors now see a viable path to self-defense against emerging threats. The Philippine strategy, supported by US technology, serves as a real-world example of how smaller nations can push back effectively without resorting to full-scale military buildups that are simply out of their budget. It's a lesson in asymmetric warfare turned on its head. countering an asymmetric threat with a targeted, effective, asymmetric defense. Before we explore the long-term ramifications, if you're finding this discussion about global power and the future of conflict truly insightful, take a moment to hit that subscribe button. Your support helps us keep these vital conversations going. The future of war, as demonstrated by these developments in the Philippines, is not just about firepower. It's about information dominance and the ability to adapt. Drones are powerful because they provide a continuous stream of information and can operate in environments too risky for human pilots. By denying an adversary this capability, especially in a hotly contested area like the South China Sea, you fundamentally alter the battlefield. It's like blinding your opponent before the fight even begins. This isn't just a short-term fix. The continuous development and deployment of these anti-drone weapon systems signal a long-term commitment by the US and its allies to maintain a technological edge. It's an arms race in a new dimension, one where agility, innovation, and rapid deployment are just as crucial as the raw number of troops or ships. This ongoing adaptation is key to staying ahead of threats that are constantly evolving. What does this mean for the stability of the Indo-Pacific? A more secure and capable Philippines contributes directly to regional stability. When allies feel confident in their ability to defend their sovereignty, it reduces the likelihood of miscalculation and accidental escalation. It creates a stronger, more united front against any nation attempting to unilaterally redraw international boundaries or disrupt global trade. This is about preventing a larger conflict by effectively managing smaller ongoing tensions. You know, if you're still with me, contemplating the weight of these global shifts, I'd really appreciate it if you give this video a thumbs up. It's a quick way to show your support and helps get this important information out there. For you, the viewer, no matter where you live, these developments have tangible impacts. The stability of the South China Sea affects global supply chains, energy prices, and international relations. When nations like the Philippines are empowered to defend their rights, it upholds the principles of international law that benefit everyone. It reinforces the idea that might doesn't always make right, and that even the strongest powers must operate within a framework of rules. The testing of these 30 anti-drone weapon systems in the Philippines is a clear example of proactive diplomacy and defense. It's a strategic answer to a new kind of threat, demonstrating that the US and its allies are prepared to adapt and innovate to safeguard peace and freedom. This is the future of war, being shaped right now, and the lessons learned in the South China Sea will resonate across the entire world. As we wrap things up, I hope this deep dive has given you a clearer understanding of these critical developments. If you found this information valuable, please make sure you've hit that like button, subscribed to the channel, and turned on the notification bell so you never miss our next videos. Share this with your friends and family, and most importantly, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice is a huge part of this community, and we want to hear from you.